What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, we're going to go over why NIO stock could actually rise to over $85 per share and when they could actually do this by. But before we actually get into the video, for those of you who are new, my name is Evan and I make videos showing you guys different ways to make money in the stock market. So if that interests you guys, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss when I upload. Also, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button, I would really appreciate it, and it lets me know that you guys enjoy these video updates every day. But with that out of the way, taking a look at NIO's share price today, they're actually down 0.5%, and they've had kind of an odd trading day today. You can see that they started the day actually about 1% in the red, and then after a couple hours of the market being open, they shot up about 1% in the green, and since then they've been tapering back down, and right now they're sitting at about 0.5% in the red, and they're trading right around that $60 mark. Now on the 1 week chart, you can see NIO's still been pretty much consolidating like we've been seeing for the past month or so. Now they are still up 5% on the week, but they really haven't had a lot of action, and this is probably due to not much news actually coming out for NIO. Because if we actually go back to NIO Day, which was in early January, NIO saw a big jump up in their price, and they actually set all-time highs after the NIO Day event. And since then, NIO hasn't really lived up to all that hype from the NIO Day event that they had back in the beginning of January. So now all this news that's coming out, it's not really as drastic, and so it's not affecting NIO's share price as much. Now that's not to say that this consolidation isn't a good thing. You could argue that it's proving NIO is just a normal stock and they do have ups and downs. It's not just a consistent upwards trend to the moon. And so personally, I think it's a good thing to see NIO finally consolidating and building a very strong support line right around $60. But for what you guys came here for, and that's whether NIO can rise to over $85 per share and how that's likely going to happen pretty soon in the future. Now, I don't think it's a question of if that's going to happen, because I think we can all agree that NIO is going to get to $85 at some point. They're not just going to be capped at $60 forever, but it's more a question of when it's going to happen as opposed to if it's going to happen. But before we touch on why NIO could be worth $85 in the near future, we have to go back and get some background on NIO and why it makes sense that they could get to that share price. So if we start out with their deliveries in January, NIO delivered 7,225 electric vehicles, and this was actually up 352% over the prior year of last January. Now it only represented a 3.1% increase over December deliveries, which was at 7,007, and December was their previous high in terms of deliveries in a single month. So taking that into consideration, there's a lot of estimates for how many vehicles NIO is going to deliver by the end of 2021. I would say the majority of them are between 130 and 160,000 vehicle deliveries. Now, according to this article here, and that's kind of what I'm basing this off of, they say that they're probably going to deliver about 135,000 vehicles. Now, I do think that's more on the conservative side, because even if we just took NIO's deliveries as of January, and you have to figure their deliveries are going to increase over the year, but if we took just their January deliveries of 7,200, that would be a total of almost 90,000 deliveries by the end of the year. And I don't think NIO is just going to maintain that amount of deliveries per month. They're going to increase that month after month. And even if they have some down months, by the end of the year, they're probably going to be putting out somewhere between 15,000 and 20,000 vehicles per month. Now 20,000 is definitely a stretch, but I think 15,000 is doable, especially considering that NIO is leveraging their partnership with JAC, and they're also in the works of producing their own facilities. And then on top of that, we know that NIO wants to expand to Europe, but that's for a whole nother video. And then there's also talks of them expanding to the US. And there was that recent LinkedIn post looking for somebody in the US to guide NIO through the US markets. But going back to their deliveries and how this makes sense in terms of their share price, 135,000 vehicles delivered in a single year would be up about 229% over last year. Now, when NIO puts out their fourth quarter earnings and vehicles delivered in total for 2020, we can get a better understanding of how much it costed for each vehicle and what the profit margin was on each vehicle sale. Now, again, according to this article, they estimate that the revenue is going to be about $7.5 billion in 2021. Now that's quite substantially higher than analyst forecasts, which are forecasting an estimated revenue of about $5 billion. But even if we take the analyst predictions of profits and earnings per share of 29 cents per share by 2023 year end and 39 cents earnings per share by 2024, and then lastly, there's also an estimate of $1 per share by 2027, that puts the stock on a forward 6-year PE of 60 times. Now we also know that NIO is up nearly 24% this year, and they're up almost 1,500% in the last year. Now at their current market value of just under $90 billion, NIO is at nearly 12 times the estimate of $7.5 billion in sales. Now, if we compare this to Tesla, which I think is a good comparison, looking at the fact that they both sell vehicles in China. Now, of course, Tesla sells vehicles all around the world, but I think Tesla is a good starting spot to base NIO sales and what they could do in terms of revenue. So Tesla is trading for 24 times their revenue this year and 16 times next year. And if NIO were to trade 24 times the estimate of $7.5 billion in sales for 2021, this would bring their market cap up to almost $182 billion. Now, if we just do some simple math, that's over a 100% increase of their current market value. And in other words, if we increase their share price by over 105%, their price target would be at $123.83 per share. But overall, once NIO announces their earnings on March 1st, this is going to provide a better updated outlook for 2021, and it's going to give a better idea of what the profit margin is. And we can also guess on 2021 revenue when we already know what 2020's revenue is and what the earnings per share were throughout the year. But for right now, a price target of about $85 is pretty conservative, looking at the fact that NIO could get up to $120 per share in the next 12 months. Now, the reason why a lot of people are very bullish on the value of NIO in the future is that a recent report by China Passenger Association reported that in the month of January alone, Chinese retail sales of passenger cars rose over 25.7% on a year-over-year basis. Now, this ended up bringing the total to 2.16 million vehicles, and that was the highest level since 2016. And also, sales of electric cars grew 281.4% year-over-year to 158,000 in January. And this was also despite a month-over-month drop of almost 24%. Now, at least on a year-over-year basis, sales of electric vehicles in China are growing more than 10 times faster than overall passenger sales. So I don't think anybody would argue with the fact that growth in China is going to be exponential, and we're already starting to see that just based on how much NIO and these other competitors are growing. I mean, people didn't even know about NIO stock or even XPeng or Li Auto a couple of years ago, unless you were really digging into this stuff. There wasn't people reporting on them and making videos every week or every day, reporting on all this different news coming out for these companies. But with that said, I would figure that NIO is going to continue going higher, especially if their earnings and sales come in higher than the forecasted estimate of analysts. Now, you should also pay attention to what management says the outlook is for NIO's growth in 2021, because typically that's a good indicator of where they could be by the end of the year, and that can give us a better estimate of where their share price could be, because we can look at what management has said in the past and use that going forward to come up with an estimated share price. But for right now, I think a very conservative price is about $85, and this is regardless of what all these analysts are saying, because according to the average analyst price target on tipranks.com, the average price per share is $65.28. Now that's actually less than 8% above the current share price, but according to marketbeat.com, they say the average of 17 analysts is $46, or over 23% below the current price. But then again, Yahoo Finance has an average estimate of about $60 per share. So it looks like the average is right around $60, and that's right where NIO is trading right now. They're right around that $60 area. And so you could argue that these analysts are pricing in fundamentals and technical analysis and what NIO should really be valued at, but people are going to be buying NIO for what they think it's worth. NIO isn't necessarily going to trade like a normal stock. I mean, if we just look at Tesla and how much growth they've had over the last couple of years, it's been exponential, and that's really the entire electric vehicle market. It's not a sector that trades like the overall market. It definitely has a mind of its own, and that's where we can see these 10, 20, 30% gains in a single month and not really bat an eye or question what's happening, because everybody agrees that electric vehicles are the vehicles of the future, and pretty soon, within the next 5 to 10 years, they're probably going to be some of the only vehicles on the road, or at least they're going to be a big majority of the vehicles that we see. I mean, we're already starting to see, at least in the US, a lot of people buying Tesla vehicles, even in places where we wouldn't have seen electric vehicles in the past. Now, for those of you who made it this far into the video, I want to hear what you guys think of NIO down in the comments and what your estimated price prediction is for NIO in the next 12 months. Now, if I'm being more conservative, I think right around $80 to $85, but on the higher end, I think NIO could double in price and get up to about $120 per share. Now, this is dependent on how their revenue is and how many vehicles they deliver, but given the growth we've seen, I think that's very possible. But again, let me know down in the comments what your guys' estimated 12-month forecast is for NIO's share price. Also, if you guys haven't signed up for Webull, make sure you guys sign up using the link in the description, and when you sign up and deposit $100, you'll get 2 free stocks. And if you guys want to join the Discord, feel free to join using the link in the description or the top pinned comment down in the comment section. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you back here in the next one.